It's 2 p.m. Agenda nesa waka low. Yesi nutujo. MTN Momo Pay. Ichikak star. Idopika nyapi kanyi star. Uni hash. Arai mam. Itosoma Momo app. Anuje gwele tiboro. Arai tacha. Opona le patana. Oyuara. MTN Momo Pay. Yesi raika titai. MTN Mobile Money. Yesi Money Bank of Uganda.
Voice of Teso News.
Archbishop condemns laziness among government workers. School-going children accused of stealing condoms. Prime Minister Navanja convenes crisis meeting to defuse Amolatar tensions. Elsewhere, West Africa military chiefs meet over Niger coup. In business, Soroti traders predict skyrocketing prices of rice. And Barcelona forward Ousmane Dembele to join Paris Saint-Germain. Good afternoon, listener, and welcome to Voice of Teso Radio News Desk at 2 p.m. The news read to you by Jonah, Osike, Akello. The Most Reverend Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu has condemned laziness among leaders in government offices, saying it affects service delivery. The Archbishop pronounced this during his final day prayer meeting with the local leaders of both Soroti City and District at Mayor's Garden, Soroti, yesterday afternoon. According to the Archbishop, officials who report to work late and leave early are cheats.
We should do what we are supposed to. Some people are so lazy, they are cheating. Others are coming late, and yet they are going to be paid. I just came out to the bishop just time I didn't think that they were just coming late, but they gave me a lot of assignment. And if you come late, someone who is going to be and supposed to come at 8 with you, then comes at 9 in fact. And then at the end of the month, you will be paid. But let me say, because you are keeping some hours, the money you get will come in some storage and the castle. And then when you get it, you forest it, or it's down the forest it. So that you don't get money which you are not supposed to do your work. You cheat, and you go somebody which gets your that money is not supposed to be in your pocket. And if you keep somewhere, instead of signing on a check, 2 million, you sign a 3 or 4, and it takes 2 weeks to get there, that money is not supposed to be in your pocket. It will go. When you see the money which is not your life, you go with the cash.
Paul Omed, the mayor of Soroti City East, and Isaac Asaku, Soroti City West Councillor, have both agreed with the Archbishop's message and advised political and technical workers to report early for work to avoid curses. Meanwhile, Joshua Dogu, the mayor of Soroti City, notes that the motivation that Archbishop has raised among the leaders in Soroti City and District will bring development. The school-going children in Tajar Parish in Kamutur Sub-County, Bukedia District have been accused of stealing condoms at health centers. Stephen Ogaba, the Bukedia District planner, reveals this, saying the condoms supplied to Tajar Health Center 3 have been stolen and used by the school children for making balls. He says the young learners have already created a scarcity of condoms in the parish. Marian Akwap, the district community development officer, attributes this to the negligence of the parents in playing their roles in their proper upbringing of their children in the communities.
Our attention about the negligence of parents, about their responsibility towards the children. I don't know whether to call it the laxity of the local administration. That is the councils of Kamoto upon the legislation. We believe that on the issue of children loitering around, all they need to do is to come up with bylaws. Bylaws banning any child loitering around outside school, outside class, during class time, during class hours. Come up with punitive measures to parents.
Away from that, in response to the escalating land clashes between the residents of Amolatar and Nakasongola districts, Prime Minister Robina Navanja has scheduled an urgent crisis meeting on Thursday, 3rd August this year. The violent clash erupted on 16th of July this year when residents of Namasale Town Council in Amolatar protested against Juliet Katushabe, who claimed ownership of approximately 100 acres of land as the administrator of late Kawachi Nafutali's estate. The situation intensified when Katushabe, through her lawyers, called for a dialogue assembly with the occupants of the disputed land, leading to further unrest and destruction of property. The clashes have now taken on tribal and ethnic dimensions between the Lango and Baruli communities, causing disruptions to trade and commerce in Namasale Town Council and Lenko landing sites. In response to the urgent plea for intervention, Noah Mutebi Wanzala, the Nakasongola County Member of Parliament, wrote to the office of the Prime Minister urging immediate action to defuse the crisis. In her letter dated 1st August 2023, Prime Minister Nabanja summoned key government officials, including the Minister of Internal Affairs, the Minister of Local Government, the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, as well as the Prime Minister of Baruli Kingdom to the crisis meeting.
International news.
Military chiefs from West Africa's regional bloc ECOWAS are meeting later on today in the Nigerian capital Abuja to discuss the military coup that took place in Niger last week. The bloc previously warned it was giving Niger's new rulers a week to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum before it considered the use of force. Overnight, the first of 3 French planes sent to evacuate European citizens arrived back in Paris with more than 250 people on board. The evacuation comes after demonstrators attacked the French embassy on Sunday. Italy has also flown out dozens of its own nationals, as well as other Europeans and American citizens. The military government has announced the reopening of Niger's borders with Algeria, Burkina Faso, Libya, Mali and Chad. However, the land border with Nigeria remains closed.
Business news.
The traders in Soroti City are predicting a sudden rise of prices of rice ahead of the next harvest season. The traders say that the government ban on cultivation on wetlands has affected production, and therefore little rice will be in the market that will attract a lot of demand, hence the increase in the prices. Osike and Nathan Opio, traders of rice in Soroti City, say the prices have already started fluctuating and the consumers will soon have no option but to endure with the rising prices.
That was the business news on Voice of Teso. The sports news.
And in sports, Barcelona forward Ousmane Dembele will join Paris Saint-Germain, says Barcelona coach Xavi. The 26-year-old France international was an unused substitute in Barcelona's 1-0 pre-season friendly win over AC Milan in Las Vegas on Wednesday. He says he has this proposal and that he has decided to leave. It is his personal decision, said Xavi. Dembele has scored 40 goals in 185 games since joining Barcelona from Borussia Dortmund for £135 million in 2017.
And that was Voice of Teso News.